Hello everyone and welcome to the final installment of the Flora Fantasy Collection. Other soaps in the series include Clean Cotton, Monet's Lily Pond, Bloom Burst, California Poppies, Succulent Planter, and Emerald Gemstone. I also created 4 different dessert soaps this month. If you want to check out that video, I'll link it now in the upper right hand corner of the screen. And all of those soaps, along with today's Pemberley Gardens creation, will be available today at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And today's video is also brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community of over 20,000 classes. They're really good at teaching you stuff. Everything from baking to gardening to graphic design to business. They got you covered. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw the 3 diamond pictures that I created, and I created those thanks to Skillshare because I watched one of their very helpful tutorials about overlays, and wow, it was like my whole life was transformed. I can now create even better labels and even better mood boards thanks to Skillshare, and guess what? A yearly Skillshare membership costs less than 10 bucks a month, so it's very affordable. And yes, this is one of the things to small business owners that I highly suggest and highly recommend, especially if you are having to do everything yourself. If you're one of those like one-woman shows and you're doing all the packaging, all the labels, all the designs, all the everything, Skillshare is an invaluable asset for all of those areas that maybe you're not the most skilled at and you don't have a lot of expertise in. They're gonna help you out. I do have a very special link for Skillshare, and if you use it, you get 2 months of Skillshare Premium for free so that you can try it out. I'll leave that link on screen right now and down in the description box below. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let us make Pemberley Gardens a Pride and Prejudice inspired soap. I cannot find my silver stick blender head, so we will mix and match. As you can see, my oil amount is significantly lower today because we are putting in so much confetti. In fact, it might end up being too much confetti, but we're not going to think about that option right now. I'm just gonna start by pouring my lye water solution into my oils. Just gonna snake it right down the side here. And then let's blend it up real quick on low. Before I continue, I do have to pour off a little bit of this solution. Just a pound. We're gonna move this little one off to the side, and then into the big one, we're going to add the colorants. This is titanium dioxide, and this is Cosmic Carolyn, so it's gonna be a nice light pink. Blend this up real quick. Perfect. I am starting to get excited, so I'm going to add in my Pemberley fragrance oil. I'll blend this in real quick. Why did it take so long for me to turn this into the soap? I don't know. Okay, so now we're gonna split off this batch into 2 equal portions, and I'm just going to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be 100% precise. Just gonna make sure that everybody has enough to cover all of the confetti I'm about to put in. Glub, glub, glub. A pink scrapey, scrapey spatula. Now, let us dump in the confetti, which is supposed to symbolize the flowers in the field. I actually have 3 different colors. I have a green, I have a dark pink, a medium pink, and a light pink. And I actually took some footage for you guys that you can see here. There were 4 different cold processed soap slabs that we made. They are also scented with the Pemberley fragrance. I just cut 5 ounces off of each of them. I grated them all up, and here we go. Now I get to add them to the soap. Gracious, I hope I have enough soap to cover all of this. Like I said before, I might have overshot just a little, but I wanted it to be really, really, really flowery. Actually, this looks really good. Listen to those satisfying slurpy sounds. Okay, this is going to be so perfect. Let me go get my molds. Whee! I think I'm gonna put them like this so that you guys can see it better. Because this is super duper duper ploppy. I'm gonna have to mash it into the mold. In fact, I might have to end up taking some more out in the future just because I'm worried that I'm not gonna be able to tap all the air out of here. I'll scrape this bucket out in a moment. I'd rather focus on getting everybody in. Second little bit, just clop it. Okay, I'm gonna tap this down on the floor really hard. It's still pretty soft, so I think it's gonna tap in just fine. Now, before I mix up the next layer, I actually don't have to have this flat on top because it's supposed to be like a flower field, and that's not gonna be like perfectly level. But I am going to try to wipe down a little bit of the pink on the sides, just the extra bits that are kind of poking up. I don't really want random flowers scattered about my green lawn, you know what I'm saying? I'm adding my dry colorants into my fragrance soil just because I didn't have time to mix them up. I had to create a new mixture real quick. Originally, I was just gonna use Green Vibrance from Nurture, but then I mixed it just now with New Leaf Green, and that looks a lot more how I wanted it to look, a lot more spring green. Just gonna blend this in real quick. It was such a happy color, and now you guys see it looks gross. So let's just pour this right on top. It is still quite runny, which is good for me because even though this first little section was really lumpy and hard to get in, it means the top is going to be nice and smooth. Okay, just gonna shimmy this down a little bit so we've got our nice manicured lawn that the gardener has created. So I didn't know that gardeners were such a prominent person on land for these big estates that sometimes they had gardeners' quarters. Like I knew they had servants' quarters for all the people that did things inside the house, but I mean, it makes sense. I had just never really considered it. A gardener's quarters. That sounds like my mom's dream job. Like she has to do so much gardening, they have to let her live on the estate. Okay, and now I'm going to mix up the soap frosting. I'm gonna set these off to the side. They're gonna be sitting while I'm mixing up the soap frosting, so it'll have plenty of time to set up and get hard enough for me to pipe on top of. So using the Royalty Soaps Soap Frosting Club Box, which should be available right now on the website, I will be piping our Pemberley homes. This is supposed to represent the actual like manor house. I've got some really cool, very unique embeds we're going to be putting on top, and we're stamping this soap, you guys. We're stamping it. Now, the Soap Frosting Club Box is always in stock like 1 week out of the month because no matter how hard we try, we cannot keep that sucker in stock. Ever since I released it in November, it just sells out so quick. And the thing is there's like 17 items in there that I curated, and some of the suppliers have a really hard time getting all of the raw materials or ingredients or pieces to us on time. So while putting the actual kits together is sort of time consuming, that's often not the thing that's making it be out of stock. It's all of the suppliers I'm having to work with just not having the actual items. So I hope as we go along, this will be something that resolves itself a little bit, or that we can change suppliers so we can get things in faster. I really appreciate you guys bearing with me on this. I've never put together a kit, but I've gotten so much positive feedback, and honestly, it just makes my heart happy that the Soap Frosting Club has been able to help you guys. And I promise we're gonna get better at keeping them in stock in the future. Wow, that's a great piping bit right there. So, Pride and Prejudice. There are 2 Pride and Prejudice prominent films. There is the one with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden, and then there's the mini-series with Colin Firth. So I feel like you either love them or you hate them, and there's a lot of people who are really split between which one is the best version. Our lady in waiting over at customer service, she like loathes the one with Keira Knightley. She thinks the costume design is all wrong for the time period. She doesn't like all the words that they use. Like she is very opposed, and it cracks me up. If you just even mention it to her, she's like, no, don't mention that in my presence. I really like the score of that one, but I love that they were able to take their time in the miniseries, and I really like the mom that they chose in the miniseries. Now I'm purposefully putting a rather tall peak on these soaps because this is supposed to look like part of the house. I wanted there to be peaks on the house. Most of the homes built in that century or available in that century are kind of pointy on the top. And like I said before, it's not supposed to be like the perfect, like it looks exactly like the house. It's not a landscape like that. It's just supposed to remind you of it. I have some leftover gold mica that I'm just going to drizzle on top. Let that fall in the cracks a little bit. I'm just going to pour the rest because I'm lazy like that. I've got a couple of different options for the peaks on top of the house. We made them using a damask silicone tray. These I've cut out with cookie cutters. These I have also cut out with cookie cutters, but I didn't put any gold dusting on top. And these I just cut into squares. So I'm gonna have to see which one I prefer. I feel like the cookie cutter one is going to end up being my favorite. Probably with the gold dusting so it fits in a little more. These have been dusted with Sparkle Me Gold, but nothing else. I kind of like those, but I just think they might stand out a little too much. I don't know. I'm kind of worried that these sharp ones may break because they'll probably be very fragile on top. Okay, I definitely have decided on the cookie cutter shape, and I also think I'm pretty set on having them gilded with the gold. I think that looks the best. I definitely think there are going to be some people who look at this and get like Cinderella's castle vibes at Disney World. I mean, it does kind of look like that, which is awesome. You're never going to find me complaining about something looking like Cinderella's castle. I can't believe it's already time for the May release. Hopefully that's something you guys have been looking forward to for the month of April. I know that April's been rough. I hope I've helped keep your spirits up a little bit. And I also want to let you know that if you become a VIP and sign up for our once monthly newsletter down below, you will find out what the June collection theme is before everybody else. Okay, last one in. Let's glitter the crap out of it. And then we're gonna spritz it. So I'm gonna put some Sparkle Sunshine and some Sparkle Me Gold. This is white with like a gold iridescence to it, and this is like straight gold. Oh yes, all of that goodness. I forgot, this soap has a lot going on. Not only does it have a stamp, it also has a melt and pour little button type thing on the front. Oh my gosh, the amount of glitter that is flying around in front of the camera lens right now. I am sorry. It's literally perfect. Okay, let me spritz this with rubbing alcohol, and then I will bring you guys in for a close-up. And here we are, up close and personal with Pemberley. Do you guys like the little damask swirlies on there? I think those really, really add to it. I mean, look, that's gonna be like the front of the Pemberley house, and then we'll glue that rose on, and it's just gonna look so good. Also, it smells amazing. Smells exactly like the diamond soap. So I'm gonna let this sit for 18 to 24 hours, and then we'll come back and we will chop it up, we will stamp it, we will glue on the rose and all that good stuff after this quick commercial break. Friends, the time has come to cut the Pemberley soap. Now I already know in future batches, I'm probably gonna take some of the confetti out so that we don't have any holes on the side. That's just because there was so much confetti and there wasn't enough liquid soap. So I'm gonna fix that in the future. But for now, let's just cut this batch very slowly. It's still completely pliable and easy to cut through. Let's pull one of these bars out. Oh, yes. Look at the Pemberley soap. So first of all, I'm obsessed with the top. I'm totally loving it. It does look like a little house. I think I'm gonna put a little more green on here. I think the lawn probably needs to be double as big as it is right here. But look at the field. Oh, the field of flowers is so cute. This turned out even better, honestly, than I thought it was going to. Like, look at it. And we still get to stamp it and put a little melt and pour embed on it. There's just enough variety in all of those pink shavings in there as well. I'm just so obsessed. And don't forget, this is the very last soap in the series, so if you want it, it's available right now in the Royalty Soap Shop. Okay, let's clear this away. Okay, so let me lay out our 3 example bars here. So first, before we do anything, I'm gonna clean up these edges. By the way, there's a lot of people who have beveling instruments that they sell, like a soap planer, beveler, shaver combo. So I've bought those before, and here's what we found. And Simeon loves to do testing. Simeon is my brother, for those of y'all who don't know. He helps run the fulfillment side of Royalty Soaps. Like, he's in charge of purchasing all the raw materials and seeing like how to make systems faster and stuff with my dad. He's kind of under my dad's tutelage. And so he ran all sorts of tests to see how fast everyone could bevel, plane, whatever with a potato peeler versus using the tools that people sell. And we found that we could actually do 20% more soaps with a potato peeler than we could with a beveler box. So there's some nifty information for you. Now I have this stamp that I got custom made, as I do. Y'all know I do. But these soaps are a little bit soft, and I'm just gonna let you know that it is not gonna look as good as it is going to look if I was letting them sit for like 24 hours. But you guys are here, I'm here. It'll still give you at least an idea of what it'll look like. Let me wiggle this out. There you go. It says Pemberley Gardens on there. I just loved the font. I loved everything about this soap. And like I said, when it's not so sticky, it'll look a little bit better. I just felt like the soap looked really cool, but it could be mistaken as like a fairy tale castle. So I wanted to put something on there that really let people know that it was a Pride and Prejudice inspired soap. And now we're going to add on a little soap rose. So I have some melt and pour that's been sitting, and this is how you add an addition to the front. You just put a little melt and pour, you press it down. I hold mine for about, 5 seconds or so, and then let go, and ta-da! Actually, now that I'm seeing the rose on there, I kind of like how thin the green is because it makes the rose look sort of like a wax seal. Am I the only one that thinks that? Kind of reminiscent of like Jane Austen's writings. Yeah? Is that too far? I feel like it's accurate. Woo! That was a little much. Good thing it's clear. And there you have it. That is what the completed bar of Pemberley Gardens is going to look like. Y'all, this is the cutest. It just reminds me of a fairy tale. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like yourself a Pemberley Gardens soap, they are available right now at royaltysoaps.com, so you can pop over there, get you one, support a small business. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and you guys don't forget to check out that link down below for 2 months of Skillshare Premium for free. Sometimes getting out these lines is just like my brain doesn't cooperate with my mouth. I know what I'm supposed to say up here, but out of my mouth is like blam, 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 blam. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that is opening up a Jane Austen book you've never read before. I actually really like Persuasion. That is one of my favorite novels by Jane Austen. Emma is also really good. One of my mother's favorites is Northanger Abbey. They're all so delightful, I can't even tell you. Or perhaps you would just like to go watch the movie version of them. That's okay too, I understand. Not all of us want to commit hours and hours to reading old, antiquated literature. Just be sure to do something fun for yourself, okay? Like, the whole reason I say this in the first place place is just to give you guys some ideas, and sometimes I start running out of ideas, and that's where you guys get to fill in the blanks. Also, very quick, I just wanted to say a big thank you for all of those who watched my videos in the month of April. I know that it's hard on everybody right now. I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful that still y'all keep creating an opportunity for me to share beautiful things that I like to make, and for supporting my family and my parents' family and my brothers and sisters financially by purchasing our products. That means a ton to me. I mean, seriously, I really can't put it into words because I'm just so humbled and floored by your generosity, and I'm really glad we get to serve you with these really pretty handmade soaps. Well, that's about enough of that. Gonna make myself cry up in here. It's just the heat in the studio. It is not a tear. And until next time, you have an absolutely royal day, and bye for now. Meow.